Hey guys, Engineer Wannabe here, and today we're finally going to be reviewing the Grand Seiko GMT Automatic reference number SBGM221. I've had this for quite some time now. I believe it's around 3 or 4 months, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I figured now would be a good time to review it, especially because some of you guys have been asking about it. So, let's go ahead and get started. Let me go the usual route now for once by starting with the dimensions. So this is officially a 39.5 millimeter diameter watch. I measured it to be around very slightly under 40, so around 39.8. So let's just call it 40 millimeters. Thickness is very slightly under 14, so let's just call it 14 millimeters, and lug to lug is 46 and a half. I'd say around 46 lug to lug. Very nice dimensions on this watch. The lug width unfortunately is 19 millimeters, but if you do measure it, it's close to 19 and a half. So I found it's really easy for me to pair it up with 20 millimeter watch straps. One of my favorite watch straps is a OEM Seiko watch strap. You've seen it in many of my videos. That's the underside. This is a 20 millimeter strap. It wears backwards as is usual with Seiko straps. We can talk about that in a bit, but this is a 20 millimeter strap. It works fine with the Grand Seiko SBGM221, which is a 19 millimeter strap. So, sorry, 19 millimeter lug width. So anyway, let's move on from that. This is a GMT, a true GMT watch, and it is absolutely beautiful. As you can see, we have a very nice cream dial. The printing on it is extremely crisp. So much so that when I picked this up after I haven't worn it for a little bit, maybe a week or two, I actually gasp. And that's the case with most Grand Seikos. Every Grand Seiko I've had, I tend to gasp. But this one is olive high polish, and it has made me gasp more than, say, my Snowflake, which I've sold recently. And any other Grand Seiko that I've had, the SBGX models that I've had, 261, 263, those ones, this watch has been the one that sets me in awe every time I pick it up after a while. And if I accidentally look at it at night when there's a little bit of sunlight, this will make my jaw drop. That's how beautifully polished it is. And as you can tell, I've worn this quite frequently, and there isn't much in terms of scratches or damage on this guy. If you remember, one of my complaints about the Seiko Snowflake, Grand Seiko Snowflake, was the fact that it scratched a lot, especially because it comes into contact with my three young kids quite frequently, and they're pretty crazy, and we wrestle around. This stainless steel Grand Seiko has not gone through any of the hairline scratches that I kept getting on the Snowflake. Regardless, even though this is all high polish, you might think that's just lazy, but it's beautifully faceted, beautiful bevel here on the lugs. Everything is just beautifully done. The polishing is excellent, as is usual with Zaratsu polishing. On the crown's on 3 o'clock. It has been signed GS. As you can see, it has a manual wind feature. Very buttery smooth, but still you do feel the ratchet, I guess. So it's pleasant. It doesn't feel like you're doing nothing, which I don't really like. I do like feeling some resistance, some sort of feedback. That blued hand for the GMT hour hand is Just beautiful. The movement is the 9S66, the GMT, not the high beat version. This is 28.8 beats per hour, and it is interesting. It's a bit more complicated to set than a regular three-hander, as you would expect, since it is a GMT. No screw down crown, so you just pull it out to its second position. And what you would first do is you would set the GMT hour hand and the minute hand to a reference time. So let's just set it like that. And you'd wait for it to synchronize, put it in. Now you've got the GMT hour hand and the minute hand synchronized. And after that, you will pull it to its first position. You can see the seconds will keep going, and then you will cycle through the hours here. And as you can tell, the date flipped over there, and you can go back as well. If you cross the date line, there you go. And this is how you set the date, basically. There is no quick set date, so you have to go move the hour hand 2 times around to set the date. And that's not too bad, since you can go backwards and forwards, but it is a bit tedious in the end to set the date this way. So yes, other than that, when you do click in the hour hand, it does readjust itself so that if it's later on in the hour hand is in line to set up, in line to to set up next to the right index. As you can see, there's no alignment issues on my model. The hour hand does line up perfectly with every hour, which is nice. I know some Grand Seikos have had that weird issue where the hour hand might be slightly off the index, and that would drive me nuts, as it should when you spend this much money on a timepiece. And pardon my dogs. So this strap is a crocodile strap, genuine crocodile, 19mm, tapering down to 16. If I measured, actually it comes down to 15, but I think the official is 19 to 16. This buckle is pretty nice. It's very pleasing to open and close. It's effortless in its engagement. It sounds very reassuring. It's very positive in its feedback, and I really enjoy using this buckle. However, it is an enormous pain to readjust. So now I'm going to try and attempt to do it on camera. Push that off, pull it out, take the pin buckle out, move that down. It's a little tricky on camera, trickier than normal, but so after I set the pin through the hole, I have to try and feed this through, which is not the easiest thing to do. Make sure you've got a good grip on your watch. And part of me makes it feel like I'm damaging the strap in doing so, but there you go, that's how you readjust it. And it's not pleasant, but once you do adjust it, hopefully your wrist doesn't swell and contract that much that you'd have to actually adjust this in one day. That would not be pleasant. The buckle itself is both a pin buckle and a deployed clasp, as you can tell. Beautifully engraved, not engraved, but stamped Grand Seiko logo there. Very beautifully done. And the quality is absolutely amazing. It's very supple. Very nice feeling. That said, as I showed you earlier, I do like wearing this on a black alligator or crocodile here as well. I prefer this deployment clasp in its ease of adjustment. This is the deployant and strap that comes with a enamel dial Seiko. This is easier. This does not feel as secure or as nice as this deployant. Unfortunately, this strap does not taper down to 16 millimeters, so I can't switch this over. Either way, it's a nice change to have this black strap on this Seiko, or Grand Seiko as well. Now, it makes it look very elegant when you do have a nice black strap on it. It looks somewhere in the middle. I'd say casual here with this strap. It looks a bit more sporty with another strap that I like to wear it on. You've seen it before as well if you've been a subscriber. This is a Hirsch Buffalo. Yes, a Hirsch Buffalo. Very nice strap as well. One that I've had. I've used it on my Snowflake and now my GMT. Very nice strap. Has a sporty feel to it, and very casual as well. This crocodile is a bit more business casual, I suppose. So accuracy wise, my example is running a bit fast. It is regulated to -3 plus 5, I believe. Regulated to 6 positions. You have a little engraving at the back here letting you know how well it has been regulated, and mine is running at around +3 +4, I'd say, which is very nice and convenient for me. Overall, this watch has been a great one to own. I've had a lot of fun with it, and I'm almost sad when I have to put it away. And as you know, us watch collectors, we kind of have to force ourselves sometimes to put our favorite watches away. So this has been the watch that replaced the Snowflake for me, and I've had a great amount of fun with it. But the biggest downfall of this model is the 30-meter water resistance, just 3 bar, and you can tell that the case back is screwed in, not a screw down case back, but there's screws, and so that does reduce its water resistance. And I wish it was maybe 50 meters. I still don't fear getting this wet in the rain or in the snow, or doing the dishes or anything like that. I think this is sufficient for that. I have no fears about it, and as you can tell, it's survived. And I just wish I had a bit more freedom with it to, say, jump in a pool, or splash around with my kids in a water park or something like that. This is the middle of winter right now, so don't intend to do that anytime soon, but it would have been nice to have that option. So that is the biggest negative, I think, the fact that it is not more water resistant. Other than that, this has been a really exciting watch to own, and every time I put it away and put it back on, it just makes you gasp at how beautiful it is, how beautifully polished it is. I mean, look at that boxed and domed sapphire crystal. It's exceptional quality. Very nice anti-reflective coating as well. I do like the fact that the boxed sapphire crystal protects this bezel, and the bezel is very minimal, so it's unlikely that you'll get scratches there. But then again, the downside to that would be the fact that you could chip the bezel, or sorry, chip the sapphire, which hasn't happened to me yet, thankfully. So this has been a review of the Grand Seiko SBGM221. It doesn't really have a nickname out there, does it? The Cream GMT. Anyway, I've really enjoyed this watch, and I'm not sure how long I'll have it for. I don't know if it'll be a permanent piece, or a permanent stay in my collection. But we shall see. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.